the final Friday before Thanksgiving is the MLB's tender deadline. And so the Mariners today tendered 31 players while non-tendering 3. But what exactly does this all mean and how does it work? Welcome to the Dom Skeen channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. Sorry for the wait on today's video. It's 11:14 Pacific time right now. So getting this 125 days till opening day video up for you guys a little bit late, but for good reason. We're back filming on the computer. We are not talking about promotional schedules anymore. There's a bunch of bobbleheads. You already knew that. What you're here for is to get in the weeds and get in the nitty-gritty, get down in the dirt about the baseball talk. And today, we're going harder than any day of this offseason. The one thing I'm going to say is happy birthday, Ken Griffey Jr. So for the rest of this video, let me go ahead and turn my hat backwards in paying homage to him. Anyway, today, also, comment question of the day. Let me know what you think of the layout for today's video. Do you like it when I'm just talking to the camera more, or do you like it when I've got some graphics, maybe even got some more things up on screen? Let me know down in the comments below. Excited to hear you guys' thoughts. Anyway, today the Mariners tendered 31 players, non-tendered 3. But what does it mean to tender or non-tender an MLB contract? So as MLB puts it, to tender a contract to a player is to agree to give a contract for the upcoming season to a player who's under club control. So if you have club control, it's the equivalent of a baseball's rookie contract. And what baseball has is, the minor league systems, which other sports don't have. So when you're drafted and you go into the minor leagues, you have 6 years of club control of the team controlling your contract in the minor leagues. Then as soon as you get called up to the big leagues for the first time, the clock starts and you have 6 years of club control on the major league roster as well. For that reason, the Mariners, baseball contracts are all guaranteed when they sign a free agent deal. For example, Josh Naylor just signed this 5-year, $92.5 million deal. The Mariners can't, non-tender that contract next year and get out of it. If they could, right, they very likely would have non-tendered Mitch Garver's $12 million for over 2 years deal after the first year of that deal last year around this time. But today, the final Friday before Thanksgiving is the tender deadline for the MLB per the 2022 to 2026 collective bargaining agreement, which we'll talk a lot more about as this year goes along. However, for this year, right, the Mariners decided basically who do they want to keep on those rookie contracts and what guys who are still on, in other sports they call it rookie contracts, do they want to just waive basically, or to, just basically say, hey, we're not going to keep your rookie contract going as we don't need to. I'm using the term rookie contract because it's a little more friendly to other sports fans who might be coming to baseball. However, right, the Mariners tendered 31 players. And who was that? Well, we can go and see exactly who that was. So here's who the Mariners tendered contracts to. Everybody who is under club control, who you already pretty much knew was going to be on the team next season. Edward Bizzardo, Matt Brash, Blas Castaño, Jonathan Diaz, Logan Evans, Logan Gilbert, Domingo Gonzalez, Emerson Hancock, Alex Hoppe, George Kirby, Jackson Kowar, Casey Legumina, Ryan Ludos, Bryce Miller, Robinson Ortiz, Gabe Spire, Troy Taylor, Carlos Vargas, Cole Wilcox, Brian Wu. Those are all the pitchers. Infielders, Ryan Bliss, Leo Rivas, Ben Williamson, Cole Young, Randy Rosarena, Dominic Canzone, Miles Mastrobuoni, Luke Raley, Samad Taylor, Rylan Thomas, and then Harry Ford. Now, 7 players were already under contract for the 2026 season, and these are the players that we already had signed to our major league roster. That includes Luis Castillo, J.P. Crawford, Andres Munoz, Josh Naylor, obviously, Cal Raleigh, Victor Robles, Julio Rodriguez. Now, the 3 players who the Mariners did not tender new contracts for the 2026 season for are Gregory Santos, Taylor Saucedo, Trent Thornton. These players now become free agents. So, Gregory Santos, the guy who the Mariners traded for, was an absolute beast with the Chicago White Sox. We were expecting and hoping that he would do the same here, although health issues just prevented him from being able to do that. Only threw 7 innings for the team in 2025. Taylor Saucedo, Tahoma High School graduate, somebody who the Mariners DFA'd a few days ago. Previously designated for assignment on November 18th earlier this week. Very unfortunate to see him going, but it does show that the Mariners are serious about getting some other left-handed arms in the door, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. And Trent Thornton, a guy who was injured, right, but now gets tendered, or gets non-tendered, who was a pretty decent part of this bullpen while he was here and healthy, but unfortunately he's getting non-tendered, and he'll now be a free agent. Now the Mariners have massive organizational depth in our right-handed pitching roles. We don't have the massive depth in our left-handed pitching roles. Our starting pitchers are all pretty much righties. That's the prototypes that we seem to get a lot of. And then the lefties, we've got Gabe Spire, just acquired Robinson Ortiz. But beyond that, it's kind of slim pickings as far as who is going to be, even in the organization, not just on the big league roster, but in the organization in 2026. I've got a lot of options that I want to discuss, but we're going to discuss that in the next video. So really what this does, this sets the stage for the rest of the offseason and allows us to move forward. This is basically just a formality, but I figured I would explain because the terms tender and non-tender are getting thrown around so much, and it's kind of hard to understand what they mean. If you're kind of new to this sport, or even, like me, you follow the sport extremely closely, these terms get thrown around a lot, and they're not exactly obvious what they mean. I have a lot more I want to talk about, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to get this one uploaded for you guys. 125 days till opening day. 124 days till opening day tomorrow. What we're going to be talking about. I'm going to give you the preview right now. We're going to be talking a lot about Ben Williamson. There's been a lot of words said on Seattle Sports Radio by other YouTubers about Ben Williamson this week. As your number one stop for Ben Williamson, any Ben Williamson coverage and Ben Williamson support, I'm going to be covering all that Ben Williamson talk that people are talking about this week. And remember, I picked this guy to win the American League Gold Glove in 2026. I think he will play enough, and I think, if he does play enough, there's no question that he's got the glove to do so, in my mind. I'm going to be covering the Mauricio Dubon to the Astros for Nick Allen to the Braves trade that happened yesterday. And then I'm going to debut something new, a new kind of series on this channel called The Arms Race, where the Mariners are preparing. We're really gearing up to go win the arms race. You see who we didn't bring back. 3 pitchers who very easily could have figured into this bullpen in 2026. That shows that we're ready to go get some big guns. One thing, I'm not here to talk about war or politics at all, but one thing about war is that certain countries who spend a lot on war, right, they're willing to get out with the old guns, even if they spend a lot of money getting those guns, or whatever it is, to go get new and improved arms. And it's the same thing in baseball. You want to go get the latest, greatest, most advanced arms so that when you get out into war, into the battlefield, that you don't have to do any thinking about whether your gun's going to malfunction or if you've got the best equipment then. Because right now, right, before the battle begins, before the war begins, is the time to get all your artillery together. This is the time to arm yourself. And that's what the Mariners are going to do. They're going to arm themselves in free agency and the rest of this offseason. I'm going to cover the arms we already got from Hoppy, Robinson, Robinson Ortiz, and Cole Wilcox. Again, I want to say happy birthday to Ken Griffey Jr. You do not have to believe me when I say this, but my first word was ball, and my parents told me that my second word was Ken Griffey Jr. Third word was Jay Buhner. So for whatever that's worth. If you ever see me at a game, you'll see me likely wearing my Griffey shoes. Nod to the kid. Feel free to say hi if you notice me, by the way. I'm a very approachable guy. I do not make many enemies, so absolutely say hi if you see me out in Seattle, out in Mariners game. And then we're going to talk about these lefty options going forward. Anyway, let me know down in the comments below what you think of the new format of me bringing up all these, me kind of putting my face cam up in the corner rather than just talking straight to the camera. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it. And with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Going to be getting to you guys in the morning tomorrow because I've got a lot to talk about tomorrow. Got some really good ideas for lefties that we can go get, for how we can arm ourselves. Got a lot of ideas for trades. And I've got some ideas for trades that I have not heard any other Mariners YouTubers talking about. And I'm kind of surprised that nobody's talked about this one. This one makes a lot of interesting sense. So, hate to be clickbaity and keep it from you guys. But again, let me know what you think of the format tonight. And I'll be back again in the morning. See you guys then. Go M's. And happy birthday to the greatest Mariner of all time, Ken Griffey Jr.